What's up everybody, welcome back to AZ Trading. You guys are absolutely nuts for helping our community and our channel reach 500 subscribers. So thank you all so much for the support, it really means a lot and it makes me very happy. So as a little token of my appreciation, there are two things I'd like to show you in this special video. The first one is the release of our community Discord channel. I'll leave a link at the top of the description if you'd like to join. And secondly, this wouldn't be a true AZ trading video without some technical analysis with proof of executions. And for this trade specifically, which is on the Nasdaq, during the 20th of September, so yesterday, we caught this bullish move, which was around 100 points. However, for this trade specifically, I used one of the concepts in my trading that I haven't talked about much on this channel, so you can look forward to that. Alright, if you'd like to get straight into the technical analysis, I'll leave a little timestamp, but right now I'll just give a quick tour of our little community Discord. So when you join, you'll arrive on this little welcome page, and on the left side we have a few tabs. So we have the announcement tab, where I'll post my new videos and updates. Then we have a little rules tab. Long story short, just be respectful and no asking for signals, since signals don't help you learn, and this is a social learning Discord. We've got a little roles tab here, so you can select which asset class you trade. Personally, I trade indices, forex, and metals. So I select both of those, and now you can see in my roles, it shows the assets that I trade. This would be handy when you're looking for friends and talking to different traders. You'll get an idea of what each of you guys trade, and you could build like a little trade learning friendship or something. But most of the talking will be in this general tab, and this is where we talk all about trading and learning how to read price. And every now and then I'll leave a little exercise for you guys to do, which can help with your trading. So feel free to join this Discord server and have a little look around. I'll be changing little bits of this Discord here and there since we only just made it. But yeah, that'll be it. Let's get into the technical analysis. Alright, so here's the trade, and I'll just turn on the executions and the labels, where you'll be able to see the entry of my position, where I took two partials and then eventually got stopped break even. I'm just going to go through my analysis of this trade a little bit quickly, because I don't want this video to be so long. But you guys already know the pattern that we trade with is the RMR pattern. But before we even look for this pattern to occur, there are three main things that I look at to help me determine whether my trade will be bullish or bearish. So first things first, with sentiment, if we just look to the left and see how London has traded, we can see that lower highs are being made and lower lows are being made. What this means is sell side liquidity is constantly being taken out and buy side liquidity is being left untouched. So with just this in mind, we can tell that the sentiment is currently bearish. So when the sentiment is bearish, most retail traders will be placing shorts since they're trend following in nature. And then you ask yourself, where will they protect themselves with their stop loss? Most of the time they'll protect themselves at different swing highs. So at this swing high and at this swing high, this is where they'll place their stop loss. And then we can anticipate a bullish reaction in order to stop out all these bearish retail traders. So another thing to help my trade direction is to look for a bias, and all this means is in which direction is the more likely objective. So I've just zoomed out to a 1 hour chart, and price was trading around here before our entry, and now we look for objectives above and below. So below we can note this swing low and these swing lows, and above we have a few swing highs and this swing high up here. But you may be asking yourself, both the objectives above and below don't seem that much more likely than the other. I've just gone onto the S&P chart, and if we look at the objectives above, these relative swing highs are way too clean compared to the lows down here. So this objective here is more likely in my eyes. And same thing on the Dow. If we look below, we've just taken out these daily equal lows. And if we look above, we have these very clean equal highs above. So overall, I've made my bias that objectives above are more likely. And so that'll help me decide to take a bullish trade instead of a bearish one. Just a quick note, you can see that the start of the day and the end of the day was a bearish day. So even though our overall direction was essentially wrong, we were still able to end the day in a profit. Alright, so let's move on to the strength analysis. And the importance of this one is to help us decide which of the indices we want to trade. So if we're looking for a bullish trade, we want to find the strongest out of the three. And to do so, I'll just draw a vertical line prior to our trade entry, and we'll monitor a few swings prior, so these two swing lows. And as you can see on the Nasdaq, we made higher lows. Here on the S&P, you can see that we made lower lows. And then when we go to the Dow, we can also see that we have lower lows. And just doing this quick strength analysis shows us that Nasdaq is undoubtedly the strongest of the three, which is why we decide to long the Nas. And just as a little hindsight note, if we long the Nasdaq, we can see that we broke through these two swing highs over here. Whereas if we long the S&P, we don't even break through the first swing high. And if we long the Dow, we don't make it to those swing highs either. So although our oh my god, man, So even though our bias for the day was wrong, you can see by just using a strength analysis and by picking the strongest of the three, we still managed to end the day on a win. Alright, now let's get into the RMR pattern. And as I mentioned before, this trade was framed with a concept I haven't talked about much on my channel, but I'll mention it here as a subscriber special video. So if we look at Nasdaq at these 1 hour swing lows, we can see that Nasdaq did not raid those lows. However, on the Dow Jones, we can see that those lows have just been raided. And so after the raid, we look for a market structure shift. So as price broke through these swing highs, we can call that the market structure shift. And finally, we look for a return area. And so during that bullish market structure shift, we were presented a gap over here, which means if price dumps into that area, that's where we can place our longs. I've just labeled that gap a 1 hour gap, and now we've just refined our time frame to the 5-minute time frame. We can see that this 1 hour gap is over here. However, if we look for the most optimistic entry, so the best price possible, we have a 5-minute gap down below here. So if I extend that one all the way out, we can see that as soon as price retraced into that very optimistic entry, price had a bullish reaction. Now, if we have a look at what time that entry occurred, it was at 10:35 in the morning. And from our strength analysis, we decided to long the Nasdaq. So at exactly 10:35 in the morning, that's where we placed our long on the Nasdaq. So this concept is like using a timing factor on a correlating market where we still have the raid, the market structure shift, and the return, but instead of placing our entry on this market with the RMR pattern, we've placed our entry on a different market. This might be a bit much to get your head around, but I'll talk about this concept a few more times in later videos so it can sink in a little better. So once I've placed that entry, I've put my stop loss at the bottom of this swing low, and then when looking for objectives above, you can see that I took off 30% at this swing high over here, another 30 at this next swing high. My next partials were going to be at this gap over here, so I'd take off another 30% once that gap filled. Leaving 10% to run, I'd be aiming for these swing highs above, which were where the equal highs on the S&P and the Dow were. However, we didn't manage to reach those final objectives. However, we reduced our stop loss to break even once we took these partials, and as price moved on, we got stopped at our break even level. But overall, this is the trade, and with our entry, you can see that there is no clean lower time frame RMR within here, and there's also not a clean RMR in the higher time frame. However, there is one on the higher time frame for the Dow, and that's how we managed to find our entry on the Nasdaq. So this was a slightly more complex trade analysis. However, just with everything, spend some time with it, do a bit of practice, and it'll only get easier. But that'll be it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Once again, thank you so much for 500 subscribers. You guys are absolutely insane, and you all mean so much to me. But if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe. It makes me very happy. And if you've got any questions, leave them down below. I'll get back to every single one of you. But until next time, take care, everyone. Peace.